Tonight on To The Point, new election results, where local races stand, including who could be Sacramento's next mayor. Plus, renaming our streets and buildings, how the state is working to heal painful parts of our past.
Powerful atmospheric river taking aim at California. Who will see the strongest winds and heaviest rain and snow?
Modesto schools announcing layoffs, what they say is to blame. And the debate over cannabis lounges in Sacramento.
I understand people want to use it recreational. I just think it should be in their own homes.
I'm not proposing smoking outside. I'm proposing the grandmothers coming together and having tea, or us doing yoga.
The changes that could be coming.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. Right now, we are tracking a major storm moving into our area. It is expected to bring rain and snow over the next 3 days. Our weather team is tracking the timing of it all and, of course, the impacts. Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods will have your forecast in just about 10 minutes. But first tonight, the race for Sacramento mayor is even closer now with an updated vote count just 2 hours ago. But one political expert tells us that he believes it's over, but the race has not been called yet. ABC 10's Becca Habecker joins us to discuss.
Yeah, Alex, current Assembly member Kevin McCarty leads public health professional Dr. Flo Kofer by less than 2% of the vote. It's a gap Kofer has narrowed with each update of the vote count. She currently has 49% of the vote. McCarty has 51%. But with a 3,100 vote gap, are there enough ballots remaining to be counted for Kofer to pull ahead? Paul Mitchell with Political Data Inc. says he doesn't think so.
At this rate, she'd have to win 75% of the remaining ballots in order to win. And that's just not feasible. She's been at the high, receiving about 56% of the vote in these latest drops. And so, unfortunately, I don't think she's going to get over that 50%. Kevin McCarty will be the next mayor.
And to be clear, Mitchell is not calling this race, and neither are we. Today's update brings the total number of ballots counted to about 70% of all registered Sacramento voters. It's unclear exactly how many ballots remain to be counted. Mitchell says it's likely not more than several thousand at this point. Now, I did, of course, reach out to both campaigns. McCarty's spokesperson says they're not issuing a statement at this time. And a spokesperson for Kofer's campaign says, quote, "We're closing the gap. This is a very close race with thousands of ballots left to count. We look forward to watching the rest of the vote count unfold." And the next vote update is Friday afternoon.
All right, Becca, thank you so much. We are also getting new results in the race for Congressional District 13. This race also remains too close to call. Republican incumbent John Duarte and Democrat challenger Adam Gray both hold 50% of the vote tonight. Now, Duarte is leading by just 227 votes. This is a rematch of an extremely close race back in 2022, where Duarte won by only 564 votes. And new tonight, the Associated Press is reporting that Prop 32 has failed to pass. The ballot initiative would have raised the state's minimum wage to $18 an hour by 2026. The current minimum wage rates are $16 per hour for most workers and $20 an hour for fast food workers. President-elect Trump has spent the past 2 weeks since winning re-election filling cabinet positions. He also announced Dr. Mehmet Oz, former television talk show host and heart surgeon, to run Medicare and Medicaid, and Wall Street executive Howard Lutnick to lead the Commerce Department. And it comes as his pick for Attorney General faces an uphill battle getting Senate confirmation.
Today, President-elect Donald Trump traveling with Elon Musk for the scheduled SpaceX Starship launch. And Trump not backing down with growing pressure on his Attorney General nominee, Matt Gaetz. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are now pushing for the release of a House Ethics Committee report on Gaetz. That House panel investigating allegations of sexual misconduct involving a minor and illicit drug use. It automatically ended last week when Gaetz resigned from Congress as soon as he was nominated to be AG. An attorney for two women who testified before the committee says Gaetz paid his clients for sex.
They essentially put the Venmo payments on the screen and asked about them, and my clients repeatedly testified, what was this payment for? Well, that was for sex, yes.
Gaetz denies all wrongdoing and notes the DOJ closed its investigation of the allegations without bringing any charges. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries today asked the report be made public. Senate Democrats agree, saying an investigation into Gaetz for his confirmation hearing would be redundant.
So the hypocrisy of forcing the Senate to do the exact same investigation they just did in the House. That literally costs hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Some Republican senators also agree. Some believe the report findings will come to light whether it's released or not.
I don't think this will be a matter of we don't have enough information. I think this will be a matter of is Gates going to get a chance to respond or not. The confirmation process is his chance to do that.
And the House Ethics Committee will meet tomorrow to decide whether to release the report. Of course, we'll keep you updated. Tonight, we are learning more about the next steps in Donald Trump's hush money criminal conviction. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office says they're open to putting the case on pause until after the president-elect's second term is over. But New York prosecutors say they believe the case should not go away. Back in May, a jury found Trump guilty of 34 felony counts related to a payment before the 2016 election to silence adult film actress Stormy Daniels about their long-denied affair. Trump's lawyers argue the case should be dismissed because a sitting president is immune from prosecution. Prosecutors argue presidential immunity would not apply to a defendant who had already been convicted for conduct that is entirely private.
There's a greater chance that we do not see Donald Trump sentenced if the prosecution is joining in the application to pause the case, because the case would be paused almost indefinitely. I can only imagine be brought back up after the presidency is done.
A judge will ultimately decide what happens next. He could order a new trial, which would be delayed at least 4 years until Trump leaves office, or dismiss the indictment altogether. And coming up a little bit later in the show, could tariffs proposed by President-elect Donald Trump raise the cost of items that you buy? Our Verify team is looking into it. Over the past several years, hundreds of places across America have been renamed, all in an effort to remove a racist term for Native American women. Now, California state government is ordering more of those names to be changed. But when will those changes happen, and who's responsible for making and paying for those changes? ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen reports tonight.
For the past several years, governments from the local to federal level have been eliminating the use of the derogatory word squaw that we will refer to in this story as the SQ word. We spoke to the organization Indigenous Justice, who is okay with using the word just once to explain what it means. It's no longer accepted in their community.
This was a word that was meant to belittle, dehumanize, and, perpetuate power over Indigenous women and diminishing them to a very vulgar word for female genitalia.
Following a federal push to remove the term from geographic features, Governor Gavin Newsom signed Assembly Bill 2022 into law that calls for the removal and replacement of names from any roadway signage or geographical locations that use the SQ word.
Identifying appropriate and respectful replacement names, particularly replacement names that honor and reflect the California Native American tribes.
In partnership with California Native American tribes, the state found the SQ word in dozens of names, including streets in West Sacramento and Sacramento County. They say the responsibility to change them lies within local governments, and it's up to those governments and agencies to figure out how to pay for the changes.
In the law, it says when the city, the county, whatever public agency is in charge of that signage regularly updates the signs, they will then have to replace it with the new sign.
The state says while this law goes into effect January 1st, the process of changing these names is already underway. All of this is a step towards healing from a painful past.
In order to really heal from our histories, we have to be honest and tell the truth and repair those harms. And we think that this is a really positive step in that direction.
So it's clear here that the messaging is all about educating people that this is an offensive term. But I do want to ask you, because there is going to be a period of time where people need to adjust and drivers need to adjust as well. How is the state going to help people navigate and understand that?
Well, Alex, the state will actually be holding a webinar on December 13th to address all of those concerns on how to change your address and GPS and all that stuff when navigating through your neighborhood. And of course, we have the details on how to attend that webinar on our website at abc10.com.
All right, Jeannie, thanks for bringing in this story. We appreciate it. All right, next on To The Point, how communities are preparing for incoming stormy weather.
And you can see it on our satellite and radar. The storm brewing in the Pacific, powerful atmospheric river. We're timing it out with the precipitation totals ahead.
And later, a push to curb sideshows, how a proposed ordinance could hold more people accountable. All right, we are just hours away from the start of a big storm system bringing rain and snow to the region. The city of Sacramento is asking everyone to fill your container first with those leaves before making a pile in the street to prevent flooding. The city is doing leaf pickup with the Claw Monday through Friday and many Saturdays. Both the city of Sacramento and Yolo County are expecting localized flooding from the upcoming storm.
Our ground is going to get saturated really quick, so that water is going to rise quickly, and if there's no way to drain it, it's going to start localized flooding.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods, who has been tracking this all for us. We know that it's coming our way.
Yeah.
What else do we need to prepare for?
Well, really flooding, high winds in some areas, and also a lot of changing conditions in the Sierra. This could potentially catch a lot of people off guard if they're heading up the mountain as we head into the end of the work week and into the busy pre-holiday, I should say, travel period this weekend. Here's a look at the counterclockwise circulation of the low that's driving in this atmospheric river. We had rapid intensification over the past 24 hours, making it a bomb cyclone. Ahead of that, we had the cold temperatures this morning in the 30s, highs in the 50s. These are some of the coldest temperatures we've seen since February. A look at our weather impact alert headlines. This is our first big atmospheric river of this season with rain, snow, and gusty winds. And again, this leads us right into pre-holiday travel this weekend. Winter storm warning in effect. That goes through tomorrow evening at 10 p.m. through the Sierra and the Coastal Valley region. As we head over towards the coast, it's a flood watch all the way through Saturday morning and a wind advisory also taking shape tonight through tomorrow afternoon. You can see how those winds come up tonight to about 25 to 30 plus miles per hour through the northern and central Sacramento Valley. For the Sierra, South Lake Tahoe with 50 plus mile per hour gusts heading into tomorrow morning. It's going to be difficult travel, especially in the high country. Here's a look at how things will unfold for tonight through early tomorrow. The morning commute largely dry for most of us, although the rain is starting up, and then it moves its way southward through the evening commute. Now, initially, it's snow for the Tahoe Basin, but as that warmer air works in, the snow line goes up. Slushy conditions in the Sierra, and this will also intensify the rainfall because of the moisture content in that particular line of rain. It continues through our Friday forecast and beyond into our weekend. So this is going to give us a lot of precipitation, not only for the Sierra, but through the valley and towards the coast as well. 3 to 10 inches of rain possible in the forecast. Moving on to our 3-day forecast, we have an opportunity for thunderstorms heading our way on Friday. That's our first 3 days of our 6 weather impact alert days that take us through the weekend and the beginning of the next week, which is our holiday week. Now, the good news on this 10-day forecast is by the time we get into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, things are starting to dry out right around Thanksgiving.
All right, Monica, thanks. And you can always stay up to date with the weather conditions wherever you are with our free ABC 10 Plus app. There you can find live radar, latest storm news, and hourly forecast tailored specifically for your location. Next, on To the Point, the future of cannabis lounges in Sacramento, what City Council just voted to do, plus a school district announcing layoffs, what they say is to blame. And then later, our Verified team looks into how proposed tariffs could impact the items that you buy. Well, the city of Sacramento has voted to move forward with an ordinance that could add harsher punishments for spectators and those who participate in sideshows. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias spoke with neighbors about why this is a huge safety concern.
The so-called sideshows are causing havoc in peaceful neighborhoods across Sacramento. Take the Tahoe Park neighborhood, for example.
We loved the neighborhood because it was so quiet, it was very family friendly, but I would say about a year ago, we started having a real big issue with sideshows.
Laura Briones, a mother of a 6-month-old, says they're happening at all hours of the day. Near her home at the intersection of 60th and 15th, you can visibly see the tire marks left behind.
These organized sideshows can really draw in people from different cities, the way they get together on social media to coordinate their activities. And with that, it's just all kind of bad behavior that we really don't want to see in Sacramento.
Isaac Gonzalez is the founder of Slow Down Sacramento and the president of the Tahoe Park Neighborhood Association. He and his neighbors are pleased to hear Sacramento City Council is taking the issue head on. Councilmember Lisa Kaplan introduced a proposal to increase fines for anyone promoting, participating, or spectating. This comes after 2 people were killed in a sideshow in Sacramento in September.
This legislation is really getting at all of that. 1, being able to impound the cars easier. 2, increase the fines. And 3, what's unique to Sacramento is we are allowing the DA to charge this as a public nuisance.
Fines could cost anyone from $250 to $2,500. They could also be charged with a misdemeanor or face up to 6 months in prison. The proposal would give additional tools to law enforcement to impound cars without having to be on site.
We'll allow them to use license plate readers, as well as drones, officer manned drones, and use that as evidence to now go to a magistrate and get authorization to impound vehicles and hold them for 30 days.
Briones says the proposal is promising and a great step forward.
They're putting our families at risk, our children.
In Sacramento, Roxana Elias, ABC 10.
A pilot program to allow cannabis lounges in Sacramento is moving forward. Council passed it in a 5-4 vote today. More than 30 people attended today's meeting, both in support and against the program. The vote came down to Mayor Darrell Steinberg, who voted yes on conditions that the staff bring back provisions at a later date.
I would like the intent to be that when the staff brings back the regulatory structure for this, that they include some conditions that allow a council member some ability to call this a particular application up to the city council, and for there to be some limitation, not the full 40, but some limitation recognizing some of the geographic equity and inequity issues.
The pilot program would add 2 types of consumption lounges. The first would allow dispensaries to sell cannabis-infused drinks and edibles. The second type would enable people to smoke cannabis on site, and the program still needs to go through the regulatory process. More than 70 Modesto City School employees will be laid off, and it comes as the district prepares to lose funding that they received during the pandemic. Trustees voted to go through with the layoffs just last night. In total, 75 positions will be reduced. There is an opportunity for 5 positions to be saved if an agreement is made with the Modesto Teachers Association. The district says the impacted positions include management, staff, and certificated positions. Turning now to your Verify. Could tariffs proposed by President-elect Donald Trump raise the cost of items that you buy? Brandon Lewis from our National Verify team looks into it.
On the campaign trail, Donald Trump repeatedly said, as president, he would impose tariffs on imported goods, ranging from 10 to 60% depending on where the items were produced, to encourage domestic manufacturing and increase American jobs.
Many of those companies will be coming back. They'll be coming back because when they're told that they're going to have to pay a 25% tariff or 50% or 100%.
Several Verify viewers asked if Trump's plan would actually raise costs for Americans, as some economists have warned. So, let's verify. Our sources are the Council on Foreign Relations, the Tax Foundation, the American Action Forum, and the Center for American Progress Action Fund. Tariffs are taxes that the government imposes on imported goods. Here's how they work. Let's say an American store buys shirts for $10 in Vietnam and sells them for $12 in the US. Under Trump's proposed tariff, the business would pay an additional $1 or $2 to import the shirts. While the importer could absorb the cost, economists say it's more likely the business will sell the shirts for up to $14, passing the cost on to the consumer. Estimates from conservative and progressive policy experts vary, but they all say Trump's tariff proposals are generally expected to cost a typical household between $1,700 and $6,000 annually, even if companies shift some manufacturing back to the U.S. So, yes, Trump's proposed tariffs would likely raise costs for Americans. President Joe Biden faced similar criticism earlier this year from fellow Democrats when he imposed increased tariffs on some Chinese goods, including solar panels and electric vehicles. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
And stay with us, because after the break, it's time to hit the slopes. We're looking at some of the resorts opening up this week. All right, get ready to hit the slopes. There are several resorts opening this week. Heavenly Ski Resort is opening tomorrow in Tahoe. North Star will be open on Thursday, and Boreal just announced that it will be open for skiers and riders Friday. Get this, for its 60th season. Palisades Tahoe is also set to open this Friday as well, and we have this full list on our website right now at abc10.com. As always, thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. If you have something we should be looking into, you already know what to do. Reach out to me and the team. Remember, strangers are just people we haven't gotten the chance to meet yet, so take the time to get to know someone. And To The Point does not end here. If you want to watch stories that are featured right here on our show, download our free ABC 10 Plus app wherever you stream. Have a good night, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To The Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To The Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention base sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. What's super exciting, I know you care about high school sports. You'll never find a more comprehensive guide and team dedicated to high school sports. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To The Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.